Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Greater Good Radio. I'm Bob Kosh, and we are broadcasting from WOR, 710 AM. We are the voice of New York. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. Man, I tell you, the beaches, the city, the places were crowded. People are out, and it is just a great thing to see, wonderful to experience, and the fireworks display on the East River were just absolutely spectacular. I would invite everyone to visit www.greatergoodmediallc.com. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I would like you to look into our project, We Can Do Better. It is a platform to combat hate on all levels. And the name of it just simply says everything. We can do better. If we are better people, we will treat each other better. Everyone deserves fairness, due process, and just plain old courtesy. Okay, let's get started. I want to comment on the Democratic election numbers are in, and it looks like Eric Adams is the Democratic candidate for mayor. Eric Adams joined the New York Police Department because of the violence he experienced at the hands of officers when he was a teenager. He's been around a while. He's been a state senator, and he's going to have a lot to face. Not only him, but the possible Republican candidate who, and it looks like it's going to be Curtis Sliwa, both New Yorkers. You know, there's nobody coming in from another state claiming that they've been a citizen of our fine city or the boroughs. These guys are grassroots. They're your neighbors. Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa have a lot to think about. The numbers on gun violence are up dramatically. And I think this really is a no-brainer. You know, we were shuttered during the pandemic, so of course people weren't shooting each other like they're getting back to now. And everybody out there, I mean, no one has the right to draw a pistol or a firearm to end an argument or get back at some kind of, revenge. Young kids are getting killed. People, the unintended, are the ones who really suffer from this violence. The candidates for mayor have to look at poverty. You have a lot of folks that were housed in hotels during the pandemics that are now going back to crowded shelters. And if you recall, back in April, I was touting the book that I had put together. It's actually a project which addresses the economy but focuses on commercial real estate and the vacancies that have been created since Zoom started, even before the pandemic. The mayor elect is going to have to look at this and really face what will happen to the city with respect to rentals of stores, brick and mortar type of buildings that are not getting the visits from people that they did years ago. There's a lot to consider, but just like the rest of the world, we love New York. We will champion all of this. We'll come out of this on the positive side. Okay, that said, I want to introduce my first guest, who is Gabriela DeMaria. Gabrielle, affectionately known to us as Gabby, owns Lavallette Fitness in Lavallette, New Jersey, on the Barrier Island. She's going to give us some tips on what to do with respect to working out, eating right, and just overall health. Gabby, thanks for being on the program.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice to be on the program.
I want you to tell our listeners who you are, what you do, and especially about Lavallette Personal Fitness.
My name is Gabriela DeMaria. I am the owner of Lavallette Personal Fitness, the only gym on the Barrier Island, gym personal training studio. We have been around for 14 years. and we try to serve our community the best we can.
Well, Gabby, and that leads me into some of the questions for today. We're in the summer months, the pandemic is over, people are flocking your fitness place. I know because I visit there quite often. What would you recommend now that it's really starting to get hot with respect to working out and staying healthy?
Try to get your regular exercise. I mean, for older adults, it really is a little bit more important to work on cardio, balance. I mean, we all know exercise prevents diseases. I mean, from heart disease to diabetes. I can just go on about it. But the most important thing for you to do in summer, as far as exercise and the heat, is stay hydrated. I recommend everybody should not eat at least an hour before they come into the gym, because then they you're gonna just risk that you're gonna become nauseous. So eat light, drink a lot of water, try to go easy on sugar drinks. Water is pretty much the best drink.
Okay, I was going to ask you about, now this is kind of a 2 or 3-fold question, so I want to understand, as far as working out and dealing with food, in the warmer climate now, should we be staying away from carbohydrates? Give me the information you would tell someone, like you just mentioned there about, not eating an hour before, but overall, is there some like diet that you would advance or recommend?
Absolutely. I mean, your carbohydrates should be your vegetables and fruits.
Oh.
Yes, and then a really good tip is, if you look at the size of your hands, you put two of your, like, both palms of your hands together. When you look at your hands, the size of your hands should be your, believe it or not, that's your vegetables. If you make a fist of your hand, that's your protein. Okay, so I didn't say it right.
Go ahead, go back.
Wait, wait, how was I? Okay, this is your protein. This is your plate. And then this is your protein. I'm sorry, and this is your vegetables. No, this is your carb. So
okay, so we're talking about
hand, yes.
There you go. A stretched out hand is your vegetable intake. The closed fist would be your protein.
The other way.
The other way. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna do more protein, less carbs, especially in summer.
Okay. Now, is that, as far as timing is concerned, are we doing this 3 times a day, or are you eating when you're hungry? Because I get like an animal after I visit your place and do a weight workout. I want to eat everything that's not nailed
me
down.
too. I'm the same way. We all curb that appetite at the gym. The best thing, first, you got to drink. Sometimes you may not be hungry, you're just thirsty. So make sure you really drink plenty of fluid. And it should be definitely water, not sugar drinks. And then ideally, you should eat every 4 hours, small amounts. I tell everybody, put everything on a salad plate. And then if you're still hungry, just wait at least 10 minutes. Then if you need more, you kind of listen to your body. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as, and once again, you had mentioned with adults, and let's talk about people over 50, between 50 and 70. How important is it for someone to engage in, resistance training, weights, things like that?
It's very important. I know a lot of, especially, cardio is very important. So ideally, if you have time, 4 or 5 days a week, you should do cardio. 3 to 4 days per week, strength training. For adults, it's really important to do strength training because you need to have strong muscles around your joints, and that will prevent arthritis. And then you need to work on your strength. That will prevent you from falling, balance. Core is everything. I'm sure you're hearing it all the time now. Core, strengthen your core, because that will also help you with the balance.
Is it more important or I shouldn't even say more important, what about muscle growth? What I was thinking in my head wasn't coming out right. But as far as when you get older, can you still build muscle?
Absolutely. You're always building muscles. Yes.
Okay.
Every day. And that's why if you have only half an hour in your day, you should choose strength training rather than cardio. Because once you're done with cardio, you are done burning calories. And that's it. Whatever you burn in that amount of time, in 30 minutes, you leave the gym, you're done burning. If you're working with the weights, like strength training, you are building muscle. And then once you leave the gym, you are still burning calories for another 24 hours. So you're speeding up your metabolism.
Okay, that's fascinating. And all right, so that said, is it an every other day type of schedule for cardio, or should you focus on a different body part on different days?
If you're doing cardio you don't have to take break from. Cardio you can do 5 days a week, 6 days even. If you want to walk, if walking is your cardio, you can even do it 7 days a week. There's nothing wrong with walking. If it's a little bit more strenuous, like running, you probably want to just stay with 5 days, just to give your body time to repair. But you can do it back to back. Strength training, you should have a day break in between to repair muscles.
That's what I was curious of. Gabby, thanks so much for being with us, and let everybody know where they can find you.
Absolutely. Our gym is located on the address is 501 Grand Central Avenue. It's a corner of Geyer and Grand Central Avenue. We are right in the middle, in the center of town of Lavallette. Yes, please give us a call, 732-250-2184.
Now a word from Edward Jones.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, financial advisor Joe Bennett, and I'm here to help. We can work together to understand today's financial landscape and make sure you achieve your goals. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Let's connect. Start by giving me a call at 631-447-0036. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The American spirit, its ingenuity, desire, pride, and the chance to achieve your dreams. Have you ever given any real thought about where we would be without the American farmer? Have you ever really asked yourself that question at the dinner table while you're eating with your family? Ben Moore had a vision when he started the Ugly Company. After Ben served as an infantryman in the United States Army, he returned to farming and decided to do something about the waste of perfectly good fruit deemed unmarketable due to nothing more than a blemish or its shape. Thousands of truckloads of fruit are thrown out in California every year. The Ugly Company has taken a giant step in addressing food insecurity. The Ugly Company prevents food waste by upcycling fruit and transforming it into healthy dried fruit snacks. When you order from the Ugly Company, you're getting the best that this Kingsburg, California farming company has to offer. You know, ugly never looks so pretty. Go to www.theugly.company to order online for home delivery and learn more about these healthy, delicious products. I'm very glad to have back Steve Bonenberger. Steve is the creator of Genius Path. He was on before, and we've got a lot of good commentary from the last show. Steve, thanks so much for being with us.
Bob, thanks for letting me be a part of your day and for letting us have a chance to talk to your audience and talk to them about the things that matter most to me, which are Genius Path and how to create rediscovery and reinvention in someone's life.
Well, that said, Steve, we've got a lot of really good response from the last interview. People want to know more about Genius Path. Give me the start of what Genius Path initiates.
Well, Bob, first off, it's this belief that your personal pain contains your genius. And it's a rock solid belief, Bob. It's tested through, time immemorial.
Sure.
If you study great people, Bob, great people have had tremendous falls from grace or positions of prominence or whatever. And so the beginning idea is that your difficulty is a gift. And I know that's very hard to see at the beginning, Bob. And we don't pander, Bob. We're not here saying, that all suffering is good. We don't believe any of that, Bob. But what we rather say is that the unique brand and blend of difficulty that you encounter is, in fact, the personal rocket fuel that is going to become your restructuring path.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that again. The particular brand of sorrow, difficulty, failure, ineptness, backstabbing, betrayal, wrong-headed thinking, all of these things that are uniquely ours, they are, in fact, the personal rocket fuel, and they are the restructuring path that has the potential, Bob, to unleash genius in a person's life. Now, I will say that the pathway, Bob, is really twofold. Mm-hmm. It is personal reflection and then personal expansion, and that's what genius is about, and that's what Genius Path helps people to accomplish. So I hope that makes sense. It certainly has not been an easy series of lessons for me to formulate, Bob, because it comes out of my own sorrow, doesn't it? It comes out of my own difficulty. It comes out of my own failures. So that's the magic of it.
Well, you know what? I hear you when you say magic, and I am thinking to myself, my mother always used to say, you learn from your mistakes, but what you are tapping into is our own brilliance out of reflection. And I think that says a lot to what you are advancing and how others, our audience and just human beings alike, you learn and you grow as you go. And that's what, I feel the connection here with what you're putting out there with Genius Path.
Well, I thank you for that, Bob. And it starts every single session, Bob, always starts with what I call a presenting question. In the end, Bob, I'm a healer and a writer and a speaker. Those are, if you want to define me, that's who I am. I've been in the healing business for 40 years. I've been writing for 40 years, and I've been speaking for 40 years. So everything in my life begins with presenting questions. And the 30 Days of Genius Path, Bob, starts each session with a presenting question, not unlike you might have if you go to a session with a therapist or a counselor or a life coach or whatever. Right. And so we ask everyone that is listening this very important question. Can you imagine your life with more? Mm-hmm. Can you see yourself in a position where that your life is not so hamstrung? Mm-hmm. Your life is not so bound. Your life is not so limited. And can you then get to a place, Bob, where that you can start to imagine that there is the possibility for a greater life for you? And the greater life, Bob, is always based on mission, but we're not there yet, are we? At the beginning, we simply understand and receive and really do, in many ways, acknowledge that the pain and the sorrow and the mishaps and the crash landings and the shipwrecks, we want everyone listening, Bob, to know that those have immense value for their life.
I absolutely feel what you are putting out there, Steve. And if you could put question number 2 out there for someone, who is experiencing, being down, feeling limited, what would that question be, Steve?
Well, the first thing I would do, Bob, is I would suggest to them that they seek, find, and take the genius path. Mm-hmm. Seek, find, take. And the reason is because what they need, Bob, is structure. What they need is a step-by-step, well-managed, positively organized method for gaining and then seizing and keeping control over their life to the extent that we can. Bob, we're not children. We know that tragedies happen and events happen that are unforeseen. But we believe, Bob, that there is a chance right now for everyone listening to kind of step outside of the misery, step outside of the failure, step outside of the bad relationships, step outside of the business incompetencies, step outside of the things that have happened that have completely upended and topsy-turvied their life, and start to think about chasing not passion anymore, Bob. Because, see, we've been told a lie, many people have, that passion is what fulfills a life. That is absolutely a miserable idea. And the reason is because all of us know that passions fizzle, don't they? Passions fail. Passions lead us to wrong ends. Genius is a gift, Bob. There's a difference. You can passionately pursue your genius, but genius is the gift that you receive as you start to absolutely pay attention to the mistakes and the muddle-headed thinking and the errors that you have made, and say, okay, going forward from this day forward, I'm going to start to think a different way. And it starts, Bob, with this one idea. You deserve more. And I want people to sit with that today, Bob. They may not be able to sit with anything else because we know the level of tragedy and we know the level of difficulty that people encounter, Bob. You and I are grown men that have lived long lives now. And we say to them, all we want you to do today is say to yourself, I deserve more. And let that sliver of hope, that tiny element of new direction, that little idea of genius start to filter its way through your difficulties. Then, Bob, we asked them to go to thegeniuspath.com, thegeniuspath.com. We asked them to go there and register and start getting information from us. And ultimately, Bob, we'd like for them to purchase the course and then to start the Genius Path with the idea of believing. Now, here's the key. Are you ready for this, Bob? Mm-hmm. That the kindest remedy for their future is for them to seek, find, and take the Genius Path. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. And you know what, Steve? It's a great way to leave this until the next time we have you on. Thank you so much for sharing with our audience today, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
God bless you, Bob. I love and honor you, sir.
Thanks, Steve. Take care. You're listening to Greater Good Radio with Bob Kosh on WOR 710 AM. We are the voice of New York. We are very fortunate to be residents of the New York tri-state area. And there are some of the most beautiful places to visit right in our own backyard. One of those places happens to be the Connecticut Shoreline. We are fortunate enough to have Kimberly Spanier on. She is a member of the Connecticut Shoreline Chamber of Commerce. Kimberly, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I lived in the tri-state area all my life. I have been to the Connecticut Shoreline, specifically where your Chamber of Commerce is located. Give us a description of what has been going on and what is to come in the months ahead of us for your chamber.
Well, to start off with, let me share with you. So our Chamber of Commerce is a regional chamber, and we represent Guilford, Branford, and North Branford. Three very unique communities have come together, because bigger is better. We're able to give more value to all of our members and support them. Mm-hmm. Now, through this whole pandemic, oh my gosh, it was just like so many businesses out there. It was a matter of let's pivot, to support our members, because
Right.
we're no longer the events hub, and we wanted to make sure to support our members really in staying afloat. A lot of our members here along the shoreline in this area, we're focused on kind of tourism area. A lot of restaurants, hotels, activities, museums. So we just wanted to make sure they got the information that was coming out to, about any kind of funding, loans, and so on and so forth. And so we really pivoted to make sure that we could help them, and, so that they could still be around after this pandemic. So that was kind of our role in all of this, that we just wanted to make sure that our businesses were around, so folks like you can come on down and enjoy.
And that said, I want you to describe your geographical location, because it is absolutely breathtaking. It's a very unique part of Shoreline that you really don't get throughout the rest of the eastern seaboard.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of New England, like quintessential New England, that is Branford, Guilford. So we are east of New Haven.
Uh-huh.
So there's the rivers. So we're east of the Quinnipiac. So, and then we just go a couple towns in and one town north. So we're right, if you visualize the state, I mean, we're really firmly there in the middle of the state along the shoreline. And to give you an idea, and your listeners an idea, I mean, Branford and Guilford, there's a historic area in both towns centered around the green area where there's quaint shops, restaurants. There's a lot of historic buildings and museums. And it's a matter. There's also a retail district up on Route 1, where there's, of course, all the regular shopping and big stores. But we really pride ourselves on the quaint New England feel. So you can walk the green in the stores. You can go down to the shoreline, take a cruise out. We have the Thimble Islands, which is very unique to the area, where you can cruise around all these little islands and see the real estate, and it is very picturesque,
And you still have a farm community in your area, correct?
We do. Big farming. North Branford is a big agricultural town, and that actually agritourism is a big for us right now. I mean, we have breweries that grow their own hops. Wineries. So you can go up into North Branford. We have our sunflower. Their sunflower. It's kind of an experience. I don't know how to say it, but the farm toward the end of the season, as the farmers are harvesting, they plant sunflowers in all of the fields, and you drive through, and it's spectacular. You go, and it's just these beautiful flowers everywhere. So it is like I said, each town is very unique in its appeal, but North Branford is a big agricultural town, and there's a lot to see and do because of that, with the breweries and the wineries, and really just going from the farm stand to farm stand. We have people that come from all around to go to these farm stands. We have Rose's Farm, that they actually have a little cafe there. You can sit, you can eat, you can get baked goods. It's really a wonderful trip.
And I'm very glad that you're bringing that up, because it really doesn't limit you folks to just a summer tourism span. I mean, you go right into the winter months, right?
Absolutely. So, we have. You can come down for a culinary experience. I mean, the restaurants are phenomenal. You can do the wineries and the breweries. We cater. It's an all year hub. I mean, so you can skip the beach, but you can still make it a wellness tour and go to our spas. Mm-hmm. There's just, it's quite a variety of businesses that we have here, and it is a truly unique experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to tell our listeners how they can find you folks because, where our signal travels, we go all the way up to Buffalo, down to Delaware. It really is worthwhile to take a day trip, maybe spend a nice overnight or a weekend over by you guys. So give us all your information so people can find you.
So the easiest way to find out information is visit ShorelineCT.com. Mm-hmm. And what that's going to do is bounce you to a website, and we have it categorized to see, to sip, to savor, to shop, to stay. And we have it all categorized for people who want to come for a day trip. We have suggested itineraries. You could start at Baloo's Wine Bar, and then you can head over to the Spice and Tea Exchange. We really have tried to put them together so folks can get a taste of our community and really experience what we have to offer. But visit ShorelineCT.com is the website. And from there, they can really create their own itinerary. And then that website also will give our phone number. And, so if there are any questions, we can help you plan. The Shoreline Chamber has really tried to be available to folks to share some information. Because like you're saying, very, very unique in what we have to offer, from the Shoreline Trolley Museum to the Guilford Mooring. You can sit and watch the boats come into the harbor and offload their catch for the day. And it's a great day trip, and even stay the weekend. We'd love to have you.
Kim, thanks so much for being on Greater Good Radio.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you fitting us in.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Kosh from Greater Good Radio. Today's real estate market is like nothing we have ever seen before. That's why if you're looking for a home, or a landlord looking to rent your home, or a prospective tenant, someone who needs a rental, it would be a great choice to choose Bonnie O'Malley Real Estate. They're located at 1308 3rd Ave in Spring Lake, New Jersey, 07762. Bonnie has been in the real estate business for years and specializes in residential home sales and rentals. You can call Bonnie at 732-449-2424. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or need a rental, call Bonnie O'Malley, or you can email her at bonnieomalley@verizon.net. The future is now, and you can find it at Nielsen Ford. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, the place you can trust is Nielsen. This is no pushy online car company that you don't know. Nielsen has been a part of your community and continues to lead the industry by doing it right. No high-pressure sales tactics. Simply put, they're the best in reliability when it comes to taking care of those who have the confidence to visit their showroom. Cutting edge in American technology is putting it lightly. Take a look at the new Ford Mustang or the electric Ford F-150. Stop by Nielsen today at 375 State Highway 23 in Sussex, New Jersey, or visit their website at www.nielsenford.com. You can call them at 973-702-8000 and speak to one of their well-qualified staff to get you on the road with service you can trust. Nielsen Ford, simply the best. Here is a partially frightening thought. Putting your kids through college. Well, my next guest has quite a bit to say about how this can be a more pleasant experience and really get your head around where your kids are going to go to school, their choices, what you should consider. Hanson has been doing this for a number of years. His website, mycollegelogic.com, has just volumes of information that you should look at and consider if you have a kid who's on his way to college. Hans, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I would like you to tell our listeners who you are and what you've been up to.
My name is Hanson. I have a business college logic, and I save parents tens of thousands on college costs. I help turn kids' dreams into reality, and I teach, coach, and mentor families on how to take ownership of their outcome. I use college as the platform for doing it. This is what I do. I've been doing this kind of work for 20 years, but Bob, it evolves every day. Every day, every week, every month, every year, it keeps evolving. I love that. I work with people around the country. I just got off a call with a family from Ecuador, for example. These are all families who have passion for their kids, and we're trying to get their kids to dream and help the dream turn into reality without bankrupting the family finance.
You brought up a great point, because it is just so costly now to educate your children, and I want to hear more about how that happens, because it's really quite intimidating for most families.
And because it's intimidating, what do? They put it off. Yeah. So here's this. It's like, you remember the Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch, and has this time clock, and she turns it upside down, and it's the time is passing, the sand pebbles are passing through. Well, the same thing happens here in the college process. It gets turned upside down, the time is ticking, and what parents don't realize is one day they're going to get timed out. And once they're timed out, they're going to live forever with what they've done or they haven't done.
Yeah.
So my job, or my role, my work, my passion every day is to get people involved. To get them involved means they have to understand that they own their outcome. They're getting ready to make a purchase in their life, a big purchase, like a house.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to do this without acknowledging that what they're about to buy, which is college, it's a process that's owned by the colleges. The rules are owned by the colleges. The colleges control the outcomes. The colleges control every step you take along the process, unless you say, no, I'm not going to let them do that. I'm going to own the outcome. I'll give you a quick example, Bob. It always starts with college tours. Somebody says, let's go visit a college. Oh, what do? Oh, we're going to go online. We're going to sign up for a tour. We're going to drive there. Yeah. We're going to congregate outside the admission office. We're going to hear everything they want us to hear. We're going to see everything they want us to see. Then they're going to send us home, consumed by all of its hype.
Right.
Our kids love it, and we as parents are ready to make an emotionally charged decision to spend tens of thousands of dollars without doing any inspections, without meeting anybody who might be involved in the decision of the college, of the scholarships, of the studies, of internships, of job possibilities.
Yeah.
Parents are walking away.
It's great. Everything. It's great that you're keeping the intelligence where it's supposed to be. You're making these decisions based on education, and what you're saying is, it's not like you're getting sold a used car. So that said, have you seen anything change with respect to college, university, any of this with now that the pandemic, everybody was home? Has that impacted anything that you're doing?
Well, so see, that's really the really interesting psychology now that's ever present in this world of college. So when this all hit 15, 16 months ago, colleges were on tilt. For a short period of time, parents kind of took ownership. They were disgusted by what they saw. They were disgusted with online studies, and they were even more disgusted that they just sent out a $30,000 check to buy it. Disgusted with everything. They had colleges on the ropes. And then came August. And then came, and I'm talking about August last year, when we're right in the middle of this. Kids, oh, mom and dad, I want to go. So parents fallen prey to that, the emotion of their child, sends their kids off to college, just what the colleges wanted. They said, bring them on, let's get them in a dorm, let's get you paid in, and then let all heck break loose afterwards. Once we have the hook in your back that's set, and we have your money, and you're not getting it back, even if we send your kids home again for a second time. I mean, we just did it 5 months ago. Parents forgot it all, and gave all the power that they had back to the colleges. Now, a year later, as a general rule, colleges are stronger than ever. Mm-hmm. They've substantially raised their price, probably more in the last 3 or 4 months for this coming year than in any year previously. And the way it's left it, Bob, is this. The things that did not work 10 years ago still don't work today, and they won't work 10 years from now.
Right.
And the things that did work 10 years ago, such as building relationships with meaningful people, still works today, and it will still work 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Sure, the ante is higher. Colleges cost twice as much today as they did 10 years ago.
Yes.
The stakes are greater. The challenges are bigger, but the opportunities, Bob, have never been greater.
Right.
For the few people who do it right.
Right.
The outcomes are predictable, good and bad.
Yeah.
If you take ownership of this, you can predictably get the right outcome. If you don't, then predictably you'll get undesired outcomes. And those people, who are they going to blame? Are they going to blame themselves? No. They're going to blame everybody else for the things that they did not do right themselves. So if I can get people engaged and involved with knowledge and a strategic plan.
Hans, what you are doing is bringing just common sense to the plate, and really, that's fantastic.
Hey,
Go
Bob,
ahead.
Would you say it's logical?
Absolutely.
So now you know why I have the name of my company, College Logic.
Sure. And that said, hold on, I want to stop because I want to talk about what you're doing on the charity end. But so I want you to tell our listeners where they can reach you with College Logic now before we segue into our next segment.
2 quick things. My website is mycollegelogic.com. And I welcome everybody to jump on my College Clarity Facebook page and join in, because you get a nice little daily dose of Hanson, College Logic, a logical approach to college. Bob, it's not the typical approach.
Okay, that's great. And now I want to hear about what you're doing for veterans. It's very important that our listeners understand what's going on.
Okay, so I teach and coach kids to do things. To live life full, to have the best of everything that you want for yourself. You have to be willing to do things. Well, 2 years ago, I was sitting in a dental chair. My dental hygienist asked me, Hans, is there anything that you've missed out on in your life? And I said, well, I'm sure there are probably plenty of things I've missed out on in my life. But I know this, when I come back in my next life, I'm coming back as a bass player. And she goes, oh, Hans, you might not want to wait until then. And I go, oh my God, did you have to say that to me? A week later, I bought an $800 bass.
Wow.
A month later, which is about 2 years ago, Labor Day, I took my first lesson. I did my first concert in February last year. And coming off of that, I scheduled to do a fundraiser show for Homes for the Brave, a center for homeless veterans in Connecticut that houses and develops them for months to be able to have a meaningful job and to live in their own home. It's the most fabulous organization that I can support, that I can be affiliated with. I love what they do. So we scheduled that fundraiser concert for March 23rd, and we got COVID canceled. We had a chance in August to do a concert. We did it outdoors, social distancing, all that stuff. We had a lot of restrictions, But on that day, I raised over $6,500. And I said to myself, I just started playing the bass a year ago, and I just leveraged it into a $6,500 fundraiser for veterans. So on that day, I committed myself the rest of my life, as long as I can pick up this bass and play it for somebody, I'm going to ask them to help support my cause of helping homeless veterans. So, Bob, if you ask me to play a song for you, I'm going to also ask you to make a donation. So, buyer beware before people ask me to start playing. So the point is, I'm leveraging my newfound love for music, playing the bass, to help supporting the cause of homeless veterans. So on July 24th, I have a big event coming up in Connecticut. It's a big fundraiser for Homes for the Brave, the Center for Homeless Veterans. I have 2 bands playing that day. One is a kids all-star band, which is fantastic, from the school it's a band from the school that I attend and do my lessons with. And then I have my own band. So about 6 or 7 months ago, after a year and a half of being in the school and meeting some fabulous people, I'm still in the school, but we created our own band called Gold Dust. And now we have a concert series this summer. Now my plan is to raise $25,000. And again, it's just getting started, Bob. Forever, as long as I can pick up the bass and have an audience, I'm going to raise money for homeless veterans.
Well, I will be there with you on July 24th, my friend. So that said, thank you so much for being on the program, and we will have you back to see how those lessons are panning out, brother.
Hey, I love it. Hey, Bob, I love being on your program and love talking with you. And you have a lot of passion for your life and things that you do as well. So this is a nice thing that maybe we can work together on and leverage together into other greater events down the road. So
that would be
wonderful.
You.
Appreciate it.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Joe Bennett. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for the future. After all, retirement isn't the end of the road, it's a new beginning. Call us at 631-447-0036. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
There is no place quite like the central shoreline of Connecticut, nestled along I-95 between New York City and Boston. It's close enough for a day trip or a weekend getaway. Whether you're seeking adventure, a chance to explore the early history of our country, a fine dining and shopping experience, or some serious relaxation, the shoreline of Connecticut has it all. We invite you to experience our quintessential New England towns and truly escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We promise that you will find what you're looking for and more. You just may end up staying permanently. Some of the highlights we offer is beautiful hiking and biking trails, fabulous restaurants, microbreweries and wineries, quaint and elegant lodgings. Visit Real Beauty. Come see us the way nature intended it, the central shoreline of Connecticut. Brought to you by the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce, serving the towns of Guilford, Branford, and North Branford. Visit us at 2614 Boston Post Road in Guilford, Connecticut. Call us at 203-488-5500 or visit our website at www.visitshorelinect. Many survivors of sexual abuse remain silent about their trauma and suffering for years. That pain negatively affects an individual from the shame they've endured as a victim. Opening up is a key component to healing. Jeff Anderson and Associates pioneered the use of civil litigation to seek justice for survivors of child sexual abuse. Widely recognized as one of the most prolific and successful litigators of child sexual abuse cases against churches and other institutions, Jeff Anderson has handled priest, Boy Scout, school, and athletic organization abuse cases in numerous states throughout the nation. They are smart, tough, and relentless, but it's virtue and compassion that ultimately makes them uniquely qualified to represent those who seek to move forward. Some windows of time for filing claims in certain areas are closing. Contact Jeff Anderson and Associates for real-time updates in these matters. Call 1-800-IT'S-TIME or visit their website at www.andersonadvocates.com. Offices located at 55 West 39th Street, 11th floor, New York, New York, 10018. Life is full of peaks and valleys, and between the two, some of those things may have created financial setbacks. You do not have to suffer the anxiety of how to get out of a situation you didn't plan. You don't have to go it alone. The law offices of Edward Hanratty specializes in debt relief, bankruptcy protection, challenging student loans, and mortgage modifications. The law provides us with certain protection, and it's something you should take advantage of when you need it. Call 732-866-6655 or visit their website at www.centralnewjerseybankruptcylawyer.com. Experience and confidence is what the law offices of Edward Hanratty has been providing since 1997. Representation you can trust. Call them today or visit our offices at 80 Court Street, Freehold, New Jersey. That's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you more than you know. I hope today's show brought you something to think about. You know, we really do try to connect with the positive aspects of our daily life. And to take us out, I just want to say hello to Percy, Q, Mahente, Hussein, Miguel, Willie, V1, and Black Just. And we will see you next week on Greater Good Radio. Remember, visit www.greatergoodmediallc.com. Have a great week, everybody. We all have questions related to health and prevention. Nobody likes getting sick, but if you do, the offices of John Kelly, MD, is just a phone call away. Are you looking for a primary care physician? Medicine has gotten so complicated, but the medical staff at Dr. Kelly's office are still there to help you now more than ever. Dr. Kelly has been practicing for over 30 years and continues the same quality for his patients. During the recent pandemic, Dr. Kelly was on the front line for the safety and health of his patients. Don't wait until it's too late. Give us a call if you think you're getting sick. The earlier you start treatment, the better. If you're not feeling well, visit us at 382 West Passaic Ave, Suite 3, Bloomfield, New Jersey, or call us at 973-338-1900.